What's going on, everybody? Mark Fleetwood here. Welcome back to the Daily Grind Trader. Today's video, I'm doing a price analysis on ADA, and I'm going to do something a little bit different. And this type of analysis is brought to you by the letter J. J, if you watch this video, I do want to say thank you, because while you challenge me, and I don't always agree with the way that you do challenge me, I do take it, and I run with it, and I try to learn. I'm always looking to learn. So this style of video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do a short-term price analysis and then a long-term price analysis. So with that being said, everybody, stay tuned. We're going to hop right in. We know the drill. First and foremost, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I share technical analysis in hopes that you use it as you see fit. With that being said, you manage your own money, you manage your own risk. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. It all helps very much. So we're going to hop into ADA. And on ADA, on the hourly chart, so this is the short term. This is the first look, the short term look. And by short term, I mean a couple days, a week. Long term is going to be more of the month to 2 month out. So just to keep that in mind. It appears that we were in a consolidation, and I would dare call this a distribution phase. We had a little bit of a run up, and we've been kind of sitting here at the top, and we haven't really had much in the way of price movement, but we did have one attempt at like a breakout, and this a lot of times is what I would call the kind of kicker move, the move that will get people to start going long. They think it's a continuation of an uptrend, and they'll start putting longs in and immediately get kind of stopped out because the price comes right back down. Same thing happens on the bottom. So watch those moves and watch to make sure you don't get caught on those moves. But it appears we've come out of the bottom, and we have curling moving averages. We're already below the 200 moving average on the hourly. So remember, this is on the hourly chart, so this is a short-term chart. We're already trading below the 200 now. The 21 is curling and the 50 is curling, and we're actually trading below all three. I wouldn't be surprised to see a kind of a retest of the 50 before coming down further. And I believe that we have short-term ranges that I think we'll see, and we should have a test of roughly 83 cents, and then potentially a double bottom around 74 cents. 74.8 or 75 cents here would be the previous bottom, and that would make a pretty substantial double bottom if we test this. If we test this range and hit that, that could also act as a spring to push price back up. So with that being said, we're going to hop into the longer term price analysis. On the longer term, on the daily chart, I'm going to zoom this way out on the daily. I think that we are currently actually in an accumulation phase where we've hit bottom, and that was our run down here to 75 cents or 74 cents. And now we've kind of tested that peak of the range, and that lines up with the previous levels of support here. We had a level of support. When we broke that support, now we've come back and retested that as the resistance, the upper level of resistance that will need to be broken to show a sign of strength. So I think from here, I think we have the potential to come back down and retest this area. Now, there's no guarantee, obviously, that we retest 75 cents. We could stop at the support that was created in this area around 80 cents. But I think we go back down and potentially touch 75. And then we continue in this range for a little bit until we start to sit in this range here on a daily. You want to be on like the 4 hour or the daily chart, and you want to have price in this range, then break out of this top. And that is what we're looking for, the long-term move on ADA, to get out of this long downtrend. I mean, you zoom this chart out on the daily, and at 75 cents at the very bottom, I believe it was a 75% total loss. Yes, roughly 75%. So the total loss on ADA so far is, I don't want to say appropriate, but for finding a bottom or for finding the potential accumulation phase, a 75% drop would make sense. Now, there's no guarantee that this doesn't fail, this show of strength here. If it fails here and doesn't break out the top, it could break out the bottom, come back down and do the whole thing all over again and start accumulating at 50 cents. But I think at this point, I think at 75% loss, this accumulation could be the one that starts to flip back up. And it would make sense just because of how long this has been in a downtrend. And ADA, longer than almost any other coin on the market, has been in a straight downtrend since September. Like it peaked at the very, September 2nd was the peak. So yeah, it's been in a long-term downtrend. So with that being said, guys, I think there's a potential by the end of this month to start looking towards breaking levels of resistance and breaking the overall long-term downtrend line. So once that happens, that's when you really want to start looking at this and looking at this potential. Wow, that actually lines up really good. To start looking at the potential for a show of strength. So draw your long-term downtrend on the daily chart. Look at this accumulation pattern. We get into the point where we can start doing this show of strength. We can start seeing if ADA is going to break that top. You break the resistance line, the downtrend line, and then you break the horizontal resistance at about $1, about $1.02, and then it can take off again. And once this takes off, once you break out of this accumulation range, that's when you're talking about that kind of crazy parabolic moves where you might get a 50-60% week. You might have 5 or 6 straight days of going up 8, 10, 12% per day. So keep that in mind as a potential. But remember, this area has to pass this show of strength to get into that, or else we could dump lower and get into a lower accumulation phase. So guys, that's the video for today. I really hope you enjoy it, and I hope you got something from this short-term period and the longer-term outlook to see where you could be bearish in one scenario and bullish in another, just depending on how far you're looking out. So again, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, until next time, peace.